Hello there. Inside my TARDIS door is my brand new Whoseum. Let me show you. I've been doing some redecorating in here, and I cannot wait to show you the entire tour. Oh my gosh. Let's get started. Here we go. So, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I've been putting up a ton of shelves and making so many different arrangements of my Doctor Who stuff. All of it is now on display. Oh my gosh, let's get started. So behind me here is my art print wall, which is so exciting. This is all of my Forbidden Planet Doctor Who Diamond Collection art prints and my enamel pin badges on the door. I've got photos of me at conventions with Matthew Waterhouse, Camille Kaduri, John Leeson. Oh my gosh, art prints, posters. I've got my bookshelf over here, my collection Blu-ray box sets on the wall. Over here, we've got my gigantic Doctor Who DVD and Blu-ray collection on those three shelves there. We've got my VHS shelf over here, the Doctor Who coasters here. We have figure sets and all this lovely stuff up top here. I have, for the first time ever, a comic book wall displaying some of my comics. We've got an action figure corner table here. Down below, art prints and magazines. More books over here. A TV for the first time in my room. Same room as these in this house anyway. And I can watch Doctor Who in my room. I've got a vinyl wall here with calendars up top. I mean, come on. I'm so excited to show you all of this. It's been about, a month of putting up shelves, taking stuff that's not Doctor Who stuff out of this room, finding a spot for it, and making it so that I can film anywhere I want to in this room and have to do very little prep beforehand. I basically just made my bed and away we go. Put on this scarf. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So what I'm really excited about is every corner of this room has Doctor Who stuff going on here. It absolutely covers the walls up. I still have, I can make this whole wall here into a comic shelf. I have more comics that I can display here. I just need to get more shelves. So there's some future expansion that can happen. It turns out that I could go like floor to ceiling with this art print wall. I still have more art prints on display to be able to display. And then this holds all but 2 and soon to be 3. I have them over here. Collection Blu-ray sets. There's room for a third shelf as well that I want to get up when I have more of those shelves. Above the TV, oh my gosh, I have the 2 photos. If I can get them to show without. There we go. The 2 photos of me meeting Sylvester McCoy at conventions in 2015 and in 2023 with Sophie Aldred as well, and my brother in the 2015 one there. So I'm so excited. And on the wall here too, we've got here, very important wooden sign here that says, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important. We've got art prints on the wall. We have coasters on either side. And this is a Doctor Who magnet poetry set that I got from my sister one year for I think it was one of the holidays. And it says, find a story. Spoiler here. It says a Doctor Whovian lives here in this galaxy. Great ghosts. It's a Dalek. Remember, the curator will need your nightmare consciousness when. My sister so far has been leaving those messages for me, but anybody who's over can leave a message there. We have enamel pin badges below this wall. I mean, I'm so excited about this because I did push myself out of my comfort zone with not only the repair of the walls that was needed to do some touch-ups with painting and filling in holes and stuff that the previous owners had left on this wall behind me, and any of the walls with new shelves. It did require cleaning up those and getting them ready for shelves, and then installing the shelves myself. My dad is very experienced with carpentry and stuff, so I, of course, asked him for tips and stuff, but I really wanted to push myself in putting up all of these shelves, and so with some advice from him, but it was all me putting up these shelves, and I'm so pleased and so excited with how they turned out. I've got my enamel pin badges on this door. This is the door to my closet, which previously this room was massively different. The biggest change started with moving the bed over, which, and then over here, this has my Doctor Who board games and games and stuff on it. Really love that. That's on display there. The book tower is still in the corner. Yeah, love that. I don't know if... There we go. There's the book tower. So I started this whole thing because I wasn't able to display everything on the shelves the way I wanted to. I love having my collection on display, and I really think if you have one takeaway from this whole redesign of the room, it's to maximize vertical storage. So right now, there's nothing in the middle of this room, which really makes it more open, more welcoming. When I'm sitting on the bed, this is now where I edit from on my laptop, I can see out the door and people can see through the door to me. I feel it's so much more social. People come in, whether it's to watch on the TV as well, or to just, if I'm on a video call with somebody wants to join, it's just say hello. I just see you straight out into the kitchen there. And there's also, a side door there. So it lets me see so many more people. And when anybody comes over and sees the TARDIS, instead of it being just a door there that's blocked off, hiding all of this lovely Doctor Who stuff, if they see a TARDIS, they go, "Oh, that's a TARDIS. That's so cool." And I'm like, wait until you see inside. I've got my scarf in the background there as decoration. Anywhere that I could fill up the space, I tried to. We've even got a TARDIS hanging from the ceiling there, artwork behind it, the 11th Doctor in there. I mean, I'm just trying to maximize vertical storage, including I rearrange these shelves. And what I mean by that is, if there's a lot of empty space between shelves in your collection, because not every shelf is adjustable height, then you're losing that extra vertical storage. So I'm really pleased with how I was able to maximize those. I rearranged it because some of these shelves are adjustable, some of them are not. And so I had this middle range that I knew had to be Blu-rays, right? I've got Steelbooks there. I've got US Blu-rays there, some standard editions. I've got US New Series Blu-rays because that's a shorter shelf. It will not fit DVDs. And so I have some things on display in the back here. This would be an example of not maximized vertical storage, right? But otherwise, all of these shelves are at DVD height. I actually went out of my comfort zone and drilled in new holes in this shelf so that it fits. I thought I'd be putting DVDs on it. It's ended up being VHSs, but it fits them all really, really nicely and leaves exactly the space for a CD shelf down out the bottom. So that's what I mean by maximizing vertical storage, especially in your spacing of shelves as well. I love having a vinyl record shelf and wall to display these, and comics as well. These are things that I've dreamed of having a wall for comics for ages. I've got my mugs in front of it. And with things like comics, when they're on display sideways, you can't see anything of what's there. And same with like art prints. In these totes are Doctor Who magazines that I've rearranged. And these are kept in hanging file folders that are all labeled. And so the magazines are nice, and they're not, if they're not kept in a certain way, they will just, they can curve and not be kept in great condition. So those hanging file folders do a great job of that. They're all individually labeled and more accessible now. But when you have things that are so beautifully visual, and when they're displayed from the side, you don't see anything, that just hurts. I want to see the artwork. I want to see all of these lovely things. And it's about making them more accessible as well. If I used to have to put DVDs, like some of them on their side right over here. And that just meant that I was, you wouldn't as easily access the things beneath them. And I just wanted to be able to reach and pull something off the shelf, to know where everything is. It's been a whole process of rearranging. So the first step was moving my bed. I originally had it in what I'm calling here the alcove. This whole space I'm calling it the Whoseum. We've had many regenerations of the Whoseum over the years, and this is the latest version. But I used to have my bed in the alcove here, and I thought that left me the most room in this space, but actually it just ended up like really hiding me away back there. And I had a table right in the center here that got covered in stuff and wires and equipment and monitors and stuff. I've moved any of my unnecessary equipment out of the room. I've moved every personal belonging of mine out of this room. And it is now like every Doctor Who item that I have is in here. And I love that. Inside this closet, which does open, I have my Doctor Who shirts and a laundry hamper. And so they are there as well. I covered this door with coasters, enamel pin badges, photos. We've even got a calendar up there and some hats on display. I wanted this bookshelf here because when you walk in through the door, this is basically from the bookshelf towards me is what you see. So I'll go out here and kind of try and show you the view that you get. You don't really see from the bed onwards when you're looking out here. And so I knew that whatever I displayed on this side, the shelf couldn't come out that far. So it kind of meant that it was a no-brainer to put art prints there. But I didn't want us looking at non-Doctor Who stuff as soon as you walked in. And so I knew that I wanted to put some sort of bookshelf there. And it's got those lovely complete history volumes that make up that lovely image. It's got my I ordered it through the website, signed Tom Baker autograph with Tom Baker holding a kitten there. I've got just so much on display here. But I knew that these shelves in particular, I didn't need to worry about finding studs in the wall or using wall anchors, because what I'm putting on these shelves is so light that, I didn't need to worry as I did with these shelves over here where I'm putting heavier things, more very expensive things on them. So I made sure to test those out for a couple of weeks with heavier rows of books on them. And they display so wonderfully. Again, these collection Blu-ray box sets, Lee Binding has done such an amazing job with them. And I absolutely love and adore the artwork. And I think it is just so nice to be able to display those, because as nice as, seeing these bindings are, I just feel like I want everything to be displayed in a way that you see that beautiful art. And for a while, I played around with different ways to, was I going to do rows of 5 or 6 or 7? I did mock-ups online. And then I also did mock-ups in person. I printed out real life-size pictures of the artwork. I taped them onto cardboard so that they would stand up. And then I could just, without screwing the shelves in, I could use painter's tape to position the shelves, put the Blu-ray sets on there and see what worked really well. Whether it's having somebody hold stuff up for you, there's no substitute for being able to actually see and mock up and move around the actual items on the shelves and to see what fits best in the space. I thought that it was going to be something along the lines of, different eras of the show. Maybe I'd have, for all of the first and second Doctor, and then the third to, maybe up until the Graham Williams era and the John Nathan Turner era or something. I was getting all cerebral about it. And then it just came down to, 7 looks like too little in a row, so we'll go with 8 that fits. Or, it just came down to seeing it in the actual space. And so now on these shelves, I was able to, once I got the bed moved over here, I was able to put these shelves up. And that gave me room up on these top shelves where I had displayed them for the influx of new DVDs that I got over the holidays. I got at least two more shelves worth of classic Region 2 DVDs. Those are at the top from Doctor Who Dad. I've recently done a whole collection update video, so we won't get into too much into the weeds now, but I've got more UK DVDs here, finishing off the classic run that starts on these top three shelves. I've got most of my German DVD and Blu-ray media book collection here, digibooks on display in the back, more box sets here, new US new series Blu-rays, steelbooks in the center. I've got US classic Blu-ray releases here and standard editions, US classic DVDs into new series DVDs, and UK new series DVDs and Blu-rays, spin-offs, Region 4, all of the other releases as well. I've got my VHS US collection, and up the top, my US VHS collection. Over here, this involved drilling in custom holes for one of these shelves, and even making a false shelf to match the cherry. Otherwise, it's this pine color. So I've added this facade in the front here to make it match, because that was an extra shelf that's been added in here. And I had to drill holes into the side of the shelf without drilling all the way through. So I needed to just match up. I knew that the bracket that holds the shelves was shorter than the width of this outer part of the bookshelf. And so I knew if I just made that flush and kept checking and drilling a little bit, checking, drilling, that I wouldn't go all the way through. But that was, of course, nerve-wracking. Finally have my, action figures on display here. I've got a lot of sets as well. The mugs fit nicely in front of the comics without blocking too much. Vinyl shelves over here. I had gotten these shelves a while ago, like I'm talking years ago, and I never put them up because I was like, I just don't know how long we'll be in this house. And, turns out years go by and I kept just saying that. So if that's what you need to hear, if you've got, shelves sitting around, or if you need to, hear that like, even if you're just putting up something, making the space that much more enjoyable for you, that much more beautiful, even if it's just for a short while, do it. Because I love being able to look around the entire space and just see stuff that makes me happy, and being able to film without worrying about, I can point the camera everywhere for you. I can film a video with art prints in the background. I can film a video with comics or vinyls, and to be able to do that, and not have to worry about cleaning up, or is there something personal that ends up in the shot. It is so nice to have as few barriers to let's turn on the camera and film as possible. That is so nice. And, this whole process has taken maybe, I think, about a month to do, because I had to take all of my personal stuff out, all of the Doctor Who stuff out, and test out different positions of bookshelves and see what actually fit in the space. I had never had this TV in this house that we've been in my room before, but we would have family over, and they'd stay in the guest room, and that was where the TV was. So I found it so ridiculous, because while if we had company over, I would be watching Doctor Who, not on Blu-ray, not on DVD, not on VHS. I'd be sat here in this room watching it online on that brilliant official classic Doctor Who YouTube channel that is now has almost all of the fully available classic Doctor Who stories on that channel. But I'd be watching it digitally, and I'm like, I have all this physical media, but because we have company over, and the TV at that point wouldn't even be in here, I'd actually be watching it on my laptop online. I thought, this is ridiculous. Let's bring the TV in here. And now I'm able to watch in my room in the same space that all these DVDs are. And right above it, I have my favorite pictures from conventions that just make me smile to no end. and it makes me so happy. So it's been so much fun, and there's still, it's that maximizing of vertical storage and leaving no stone unturned. This shelf is way deep, and way deeper than it needs to be, and so it was sticking out, and I was like, how can I make this look nice, and also how can I display my coasters? And so I got these command hooks, and it was very difficult because I had to line them up in a way that looked reasonably level up and down, and yet this shelf is slightly leaning forward. The floor is slightly leaning backwards. There is no level surface in this space, and so these comic shelves, I promise you, are level. But because of the slant of this wall and stuff, they look in person like they're slanting down and not level, but it's just because this floor, I technically can fit my treadmill in here between the bed and the TV, and I can walk and watch still. You're very close to the TV, but it does work, but it is at such a slant, I had to adjust my treadmill up to the maximum angle that it would go because we slope down here, which is part of the reason as to why we used to have this screwed into the TV, the TV strapped to the wall and screwed in that way, but it is leaning so far back that I'm not worried about it tipping over. But we do have these big shelves. They are strapped in up top and screwed into the wall so that they are not falling forward no matter what. So it was very fun to rearrange this space. It is so cool to have things now accessible, visible. I absolutely love that, and I am just so pleased with this. Over the weeks, I have done film time lapses and updates and stuff, and it's just so exciting to have all of this on display now. And if I want to, somebody asked me, do you have X, Y, and Z? It's here, and I've got a little bit of room to grow here. I can steel books. I can swap. These are some Peter Cushing ones. I can move them down there. It's got a little bit of breathing room, which is so nice. I've got these drawers as well that I can use for storage. That I do use for storage of. I've got a drawer that's just for mail that's been sent in by the Who crew, and I've got some a file folder that has art prints and stuff that or anything that I would eventually one day love to have on the walls, but I have, as you can see, I've run out of space. I guess there's a ceiling. I can do something about that. But yeah, and I've wanted a calendar wall. One day I will have. How do I show you this? There we go. There are the calendars. One day I'm going to have a room or a wall or something that has every Doctor Who calendar that's ever officially been released from each year, because I would love the idea of like beginning of the month, going in, changing all the calendars, seeing what's on there. In the very first Whoseum, I had on my door, the back of my door, I had a calendar. And it's these ones right here. I would have one of those calendars depending on the year, and I would have this poster. The 2010 calendar was one of the first I got. And I just used the posters on my walls everywhere. And I got really emotional putting those posters back up on the wall because it reminded me of home, of my childhood home where I had put those up. And it just had so much meaning, and it was so fun. And I love being able to look at all of this beautiful artwork and the books on display, VHSs on this lovely rack. It just means so much. This, I remember getting this in a raffle. And even though it was, they picked the winner at random, I knew that I was going to get this because it's a VHS stand. And I put in 10 raffle tickets, and there were only 10 when it came time for the drawing to happen. So I knew I would get that. But I'm so happy I have it. I love it for the infrastructure, displaying VHSs and everything. And it just makes me so happy to have all of these on display. So this is the Whoseum. I'm so pleased with it. So happy with how it's turned out. There may be more updates, as I'm sure, as more shelves get put up and such. But I'm so very pleased to show it to you. You've seen in the background of some videos, and you'll see them in the background of future videos since. I've got my TARDIS Doctor Who blanket there, Albert, some pillows, my lovely crocheted 4th Doctor, and if you flip it around, 10th Doctor pillow there. Oh my gosh. Thank you to Trish for sending that to me. That's amazing. And oh my gosh, this entire collection is just such a thrill to show you and have on display here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the new Whoseum, and I hope this will inspire you to keep growing your knowledge, collection, and connection with other Doctor Who fans. Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video. Bye! See ya! Bye! I did not think that ending through. Just close the door on my arm. All right, there we go. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel. Now,
don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel. You know it makes sense.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who Guide YouTube channel.
Hello. Don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who YouTube channel. Guide.
You are watching the Doctor Who Guide. Dum, 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 dum.